Welcome back to the BOM Process course. We're still in Module 3, the 7 phases, and here in Lesson 9, we're talking about the badass phase. Now, this phase, to be clear, is more aspirational than anything. This is where we're trying to get. So let's dive straight in. Here in phase 7, when you're at the badass phase, your goal really is to enjoy the freedom you've built. This is where you are once you have freedom in your business. Once you are making enough money to cover everything and you built a team so you can step away and you're only working on the things you really want to work on. So you are in a place where it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Now, the focus at this phase is vision, impact, and legacy. And that's going to be very different for everybody. Everyone's going to have their own view of what is their vision, the impact, and the legacy of their business. But this is where you're creating that. This is where that's a lot of what you're doing. The discipline at this phase, it's pretty simple. Don't break things. I mean, we entrepreneurs have a bad tendency to really kind of get in there and mess with stuff. If things aren't broken, we feel useless. And so our tendency, our habit will be to get in there and muck around with stuff. And this is a place where you have to be very careful about not doing that, because at this point, you have a team in place who's doing this stuff for you, and you really should step back, don't break things, and worry about the impact and legacy instead. So that's really what you need to be doing from a discipline perspective. The learning at this phase is whatever you want. At this point, really, you get to decide. It truly is pick your own adventure at this point, and you don't have to think about learning a new skill set necessarily to build your business further. It's you decide what you want at this point. Maybe you want to geek out on some stuff about business. Maybe you want to learn stuff that has nothing to do with your business. This is where you get to make that decision. So those are the goal, the focus, and the discipline. And you might expect at this point we're going to talk about milestones, but there are no milestones because this is the destination. This is where you've been striving to get. So once you get to this point, again, as long as you don't kind of have a phase where you fall back and lose your momentum. At this point, there are no more milestones to complete. You are at a place where you get to decide what you want. So summing up, the badass phase is it's going to look different for each of us, but this is where you get to focus on building the legacy that you want to create. So that's what you're doing here. So that's a wrap. That's the end of this module. That's the end of this course. At this point, up next, you need to get into action. You need to figure out where you are. And if you're in BOMU, head over to the BOM Process page. There's a checklist that you can go through if you haven't done this yet and check off exactly where you are in the process, all the things you've completed. And from there, you can then get into action and start with the tasks and the things, the milestones that you haven't completed yet at the earliest phase that you don't have completed yet, and just get into action doing the work. So that's it. Enjoy, and I can't wait to see what you build in your business.